And this is me on Friday morning, what I thought was Friday morning, when somebody opened the room to my door, housekeeping. And I'm like, excuse me, it's noon. Checkout's at noon. I was still sleeping. I gotta get ready to go. They were super gracious though. They're like, no problem. Yeah, I said, I'll be out of here now. They're like, no problem. I gotta get it together. Bye. One last shot of Barcelona from my hotel room. Balcony. It's beautiful out today. Unbelievable. Unfortunately, I didn't get to enjoy my coffee on the balcony because I slept through it. And this is me sitting at a random bus stop that I was dropped at. Only it's not where my ride is picking me up. So yeah, we'll figure it out. Made it. So here's my awesome apartment. I'm sharing the apartment with 3 other women. I did go ahead and pay for the ensuite bathroom, which I am grateful for. Oh my gosh, is that a bidet? Is that a bidet? I think so. I don't know. I'm gonna find out. And I love that we're off this little alley. We have a balcony and a rooftop. Talk to you after a while. Thank you. Excuse me. I got a loss on this one. Thank you. Excuse me. Hello, Camarilla here, coming to you from Benicarló, Spain. I'm here for a 30-day yoga training for my 500-hour certificate. A little chilly, having some decaf with some chocolate. So, let me recap today. Let me start with that. Actually, last night, I got to my hotel room last night in Barcelona. Well, by the time I found it after walking through the Barri Gótica, Gothic, so the Gothic quarter, for probably half an hour to 45 minutes with my giant pack and my small pack, everything I'm traveling with, I finally found my room, and I was starving, so I went to go get some dinner based on the recommendation of the hotel clerk, and it was delicious. He sent me to this tapas place down the street. Anyway, I had a lovely dinner. And just to enjoy it. Anyway, I had a lovely dinner there, and then I went back to my room and took a hot shower to warm up, and fell into bed with the TV on, and woke up at 2 a.m. going like, oh, I forgot to turn the TV off. Fell back to sleep, hoping I'd be able to go back to sleep. And then was awoken by a knock. Actually, no, the door opened and it was room service to clean the room because it was already noon. Couldn't believe it. Anyway, so I was like, oh no. Talked to the desk downstairs. They said, don't worry about it. I told them I'll be out in an hour, and I was. But now it's like figuring out where now. Well, in that hour, I knew I needed internet, and so they have Wi-Fi, and so I was like trying to figure out to book my train to Benicarló, only to find out they only run 2 trains on weekdays, and they're both in the morning. So there was no train to Benicarló for me today. So instead I booked a bus, which is like a 3 and change trip. It was not terrible. It was a nice bus. 2 buses I had to transfer. But I'd prefer to train. Anyway, but it was a pretty ride. Like, again, it's kind of inland and out to the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. And so it was very interesting to me. I got to see so many interesting things. One of the interesting things I saw was that, they've got a ton of olive trees out here. And then I started noticing they had these giant bonsais. I think they're little olive trees that have been like bonsai'd. They're incredibly looking. So I'm going to make sure to look into that later on. So much beautiful stuff. A lot of agriculture on the trip that I could see. We got to the apartment and I pinched my finger and blistered it pretty good, like a blood blister and a bruise. Anyway, like I said, well, actually interesting. Maybe not. So I'm rushing around again today, trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get to Benicarló. All right, now I booked a bus. It's at 2 o'clock. Well, it's already past 1, and I'm like, how do I get to wherever it's picking me up? So I go down and talk to the clerk, and he gives me great directions, a map, explains it all, helps me a lot because he's pointing and drawing and saying as well, so it was very helpful. The problem for me was recognizing that timing was going to be everything. Okay, especially when you don't understand all of it, you understand most of it, but you're like, ooh. Because I know one of the things I really struggled with yesterday was like the street signs. Like, I understand how to read a street sign, but for whatever reason, I could not figure out how to find streets and use street signs as directions while navigating Barcelona. So I left the hotel and I got on the street and I realized you haven't eaten anything, you've had no coffee, and you are spun. And if you manage to get it on this bus, you're not going to eat anything for another couple hours. And I know I had very little to eat yesterday as well. So I'm like, you're going to eat something. So I stopped at there was a little shop, and I had another croissant with, it was either ham and cheese, or I think it was ham and cheese, this one, and an Americano, which were both delicious. And I just stopped to gather my thoughts because I was like, I'm a mess. And then I thought, okay, you got this. Use the bathroom, used it, head out. Managed to get myself to La Rambla, which is the main kind of drag through there. And trying to figure out where the subway was, the metro, instead of a bus. And by then I'm like, it is 12:25. Like, are you gonna make this? I'm like, 1:25, I'm sorry, 1:25. And I don't think I'm gonna make it. So I'm like, okay, well then you'll buy another ticket, not a big deal. And within about 3 minutes, I happened upon a cab or a taxi, and I asked the guy, are you free? And he's like, sí. So I showed him where I wanted to go. I said, do you know where this is? Because it was a bus stop. It wasn't the station. And He said, see, I said, how long will it take to get there? He said, 20, 25 minutes. And I'm like, so we threw my stuff in the back and I hop in the cab and I'm sweating bullets because it's already like 1:35 now and I'm going 25 minutes. They're gonna leave without me. So, man, he was awesome. I think his name was Emilio. He was really nice. We spoke in Spanglish back and forth as best we could. And then he got me there. He got me there with like 6 minutes to spare. So huge props to him. And yes, I tipped him. So anyway, got on the bus, so grateful. And off we go. It's all good. And then we had to do the bus change. But I didn't understand because I didn't realize I was changing buses. And so I was like, and so I kind of got up to ask the driver because I realized people are leaving or transferring because there's another bus. So I get my stuff and there was a woman not far away and I asked, do you happen to speak English? And she like gave me the side eye. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you know what's going on? And she like was so irritated with me and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyway, in short, the bus driver came back on the bus and was like, Benicarló? And I said, yeah. He was. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I grabbed my stuff and transferred. But yeah, thanks a lot, lady. Anyway, so I got on my new bus. Oh, I forgot. Go back to the first bus, right? I sit down on my bus. I'm in the front row. I decided I'm in the front row. It's got a little tray. I'm good. And we had to stop at like 3 stops. And these people got in. And they were not Spanish. They were not originally Spanish anyway. And this lady walks right up to me and tells me to move my things. And I'm like, my little bag, like, she's gonna sit with me. I'm like, oh, you wanna sit her? And I'm like, half the bus is empty. What? And she's with, there are 3 of them. She's with 2 younger people. And so I'm like, I'll just move. But I couldn't believe that she just like commandeered my seat. And I let her. Anyway. So anyway, get on my next bus. Eventless, thank goodness. We get to Benicarló. He's like, Benicarló? And I'm like, hey, gracias. And I get out of the bus and I'm like on 8th Street. It's not like a bus station or anything. And I'm like, okay. So I get out. And there's a bus bench. So I walk over and sit down. And thank goodness Jerry, the coordinator for the trip, had texted me, I'm here and waiting. And I'm like, this is where he dropped me. I don't know where I am. Thankfully, it wasn't too far away, like maybe a block away. So he came and got me. And boom, here we are. In the meantime, like I said, my glasses got lost. And I'm guessing they probably got lost when I was sitting at the bus stop waiting. And I stuck them in the outside pocket of my smaller bag, which is where I usually keep them. But it's not tight as it should be. So somebody helped and grabbed that one for me. And they probably fell out. But anyway, I got to get some new glasses. Lily is a kick in the pants. I like her a lot. It's a beautiful place. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I have a day off, and so I want to explore a little bit and see it during the daylight, because I have not. I got here, it was after dark already. Oh, did you see my cute new hat? Yeah. I bought this at the Moroccan store too. I love it. It's chilly, but it's colder inside than out here, so I'm out here. There is a little patio. I'm so grateful. So that is it for night 1. Thank you for joining me. If you like this kind of content or you'd like to find my journey over the next, or follow my journey. The gods have smiled upon me again. I found my glasses. Life is good.